Good morning. Good morning. As you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. All right. So this morning we are talking about your brain is lying to you, not on purpose, but it is. And once you understand how, everything changes. And so I'll start this with we have 50 billion bits of information that is coming to us per second. Because remember, everything is energy of frequency, from the phone to the pen to the trees outside to the sounds we hear to the opportunities that show up. Everything has a frequency and energy about it, right? And so as I'm sitting here, there are so many things in my environment that if I had to pay attention to every single one of them constantly, my brain would just kind of overload. And our brain is so amazing in how it filters things out. So even to the point of, if you've ever known anybody that lived near the airport, and when they first move in, it's like the constant sound of the planes is very disturbing and intrusive in their life. And over time, the brain starts filtering out that sound so they don't even process it anymore. It's not part of their reticular activating system. It is not part of that 2,000 bits of information that's coming in. It filters it out. I even worked with myself I was having some issues with tinnitus, and it was this constant noise in my ear. And so as I thought about all of this, I thought, well, wait a minute, maybe if I can reduce the noise and quit listening to it, it won't be a problem. And so I worked with that. I created a hypnosis recording that I listened to, and it became a place where the only time I heard it was when I would talk about it and think about it, and then I would hear the noise. But other than that, I didn't hear it anymore. Beautifully done with our brain, right? But like I said, you only process 2,000 bits of that 50 billion bits of information. So just like our brain filters out the tinnitus noise, our brain filters out the airplane that's going over all the time, it also does it with normal everyday things. So it is the thing that makes a difference in what you hear or what you see. That 2,000 bits that you're privy to, they come from who you think you are, what you think that is available to you, and what's important to you. The biggest one is what you believe about yourself, what you believe about the world. And one of the places that it really shows up a lot is basically keeping your word to yourself. So every broken promise that you've made to yourself, your subconscious mind stores that as data, and it confirms an old story that you may have said. So the way it's easiest for me to explain this is, let's say you're a person that is heavier, and maybe you're not even that heavy, but you decide you want to get healthier, and you decide that you're going to go walking or running every day. And so when you make that decision, depending on what your 2,000 bits are that you're privy to all the time, your subconscious mind is going to be sitting and paying attention. So let's see, she just said this. Let's see what happens. And so the first morning that the alarm goes off and you had said you were going to go for a walk or a run, and you hit the snooze and you hit the snooze. And then when you get up, it's like, I don't have time. I'll do it later. And then you don't do it. It starts really, really pulling that data together. And it says, okay, when has this happened before? And then it'll go back all through your history and see when other times you might have made a promise of what you were going to do and you didn't follow through. So the next time you hit that snooze, next time you set that goal of getting up and going for a walk, it's going to do things to discourage you because in its data, that is the course of action that typically you do, which is you decide you're going to do that, and then the next day you don't. So it's going to help you in that way. And as the matter of fact, it may even say, well, I'm a little bit tired today. Maybe I have a headache. Maybe I can do it later. Maybe it's not that important. And it'll start in your mind before the alarm even goes off, it's working. And then when the alarm goes off, you do the same pattern. You hit the snooze, you run out of time, and you don't do it. Now, if what happened is, this is what I tell my clients to do that may be struggling with something like this, is if it's walking or running in the morning that you're wanting to do, you go ahead and before you go to bed, you lay out the clothes that you're going to wear when you go. So that's another trigger. That's a break in the pattern. You haven't been doing that. Or if you have, we'll have to find another pattern breaker for you, right? So you go ahead and you do that. You put the clothes out with the shoes and everything, exactly where you can see them the moment you open your eyes, if possible, right? And then when your alarm goes off, you have directed yourself that you're going to sit up in the bed and you're going to look at the clothes, and then you're going to go ahead and get up and put those clothes on. Now, here's where the really important part comes in. Now, let's say you got up that morning and you were really tired. Maybe you had a headache. And your normal pattern would be to lay back down and not do it. But this time you're going to break that pattern. So you're going to put those clothes on and you're going to go to the door. You're going to walk outside. And if you live in a house like I do and you have a driveway, you're going to go to the end of the driveway where your mailbox is or whatever. And then you're going to make a decision from there. Do I feel well enough to go ahead and do at least part of my walk? And if not, then you go ahead and go back in. But you've already broken the pattern because you went outside and you did a walk. And it doesn't matter if you were intending to do 2 miles or whatever you were intending to do, you started, which is a very big difference from what you had been doing. So you've broken the pattern. And so now that becomes new data for your subconscious mind. And it may say from there, the next morning, it may say, well, go ahead and get up. You know, you felt better yesterday because you got up, and you go ahead and get up. And over time, it becomes, and sometimes it's a very short period of time, it becomes your biggest cheerleader. So that when the alarm goes off, you pop up and you say, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel so good after I do my walk. It may even get to the point where, and this is what happens to me, is that you get up before the clock even goes off and begin, right? So there's this pattern that you have created in your subconscious so that it can do its job. You don't fight it, you feed it new data. Clothes laid out, walk to the mailbox, right? So you've already started adjusting what it expects and what it encourages you to do. Now, I mentioned the reticular activating system, and what we actually see are 2,000 bits of information, right? It's depending on where we are and what we're doing. So for instance, I bought a Prius a few years ago. And when I did, I had never really seen them on the road. My daughter had mentioned something about a Prius, and I thought that sounds pretty cool. And let me go check it out. And the moment I checked it out, I started seeing them different places. Right? Well, when I bought my Prius, I went to the grocery store, and when I pulled up, it was like all I saw were Priuses everywhere, parked in the parking lot. Now, in actuality, I'm sure there were other cars there, but I did not register them because my reticular activating system was bringing me the data of Prius. You see what I mean? So When I bought that Prius, I saw them everywhere. They were always there. My filter wasn't just looking, it was gathering data, right? So our brain works with evidence like this of who you are. So being confident in who you are and what you're doing isn't just a feeling, it's evidence that you build over time. So I would love to ask you, and like I said, I cannot see any of the comments or anything like that right now. So forgive me for not responding. It's just not showing up. So if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay and then join in the conversation, and I'll come back and I promise I will answer your questions and be grateful for you coming in and watching the live or watching the replay, whichever way you come in, right? So the thing that is so important, especially when you think about for those people who may have goals of fitness, or maybe someone who has a goal of making more money, someone that has a goal of just being better at their job, whatever it is, your 2,000 bits of information that you do see will change because you started noticing something else. If you allow that to happen, right? Like me with the Prius. Before that, I never saw them, never paid attention to them. They were there, I just didn't see them. And the same thing goes with opportunities. If you're not open to opportunities, they can't get in because you've already got those 2,000 bits aligned with who you think you are, who you believe you are, and what you believe about the world. You know, I've talked many times about the two people in the car, right? And as they're driving down, somebody's driving down the road and they're passengers and they're looking out the window and one sees amazing things and the other person sees the exact same view and only sees what's wrong. And it's because of their filter of the world and their filter of who they are. And therefore it's not that the good things, the blooms and the flowers and the kids playing aren't there. It's that their reticular activating system, their bits of information will not allow those to come in because it goes against the data that they have stored in their subconscious mind. Interesting, right? So one of the best ways to change that data is change your focus. What you're looking at changes when you change your focus. So when you do that, you're starting to build evidence of something different. Now, one of the things that is important to me is that I learn new things all the time. And as I learn new things, new doors and new opportunities show up. And it's just like, what is it that, is it Yoda, I think, that says when the student is ready, the teacher will come, or I don't know who says it, but I think I remember Yoda saying something like that. But if not, correct me, let me know that I'm incorrect in that. Because it's been a while since I saw the original Star Wars. So, however, that is the truth, because if you are not ready to hear something that will help you as you're moving forward in life, learning something, if you're not ready for it, even if the person pops up in your feed, if the person pops up on a live, or a person talks about a workshop, you will not even pay attention. Or you might see it and think, that's not for me, whatever it may be, right? So if you're watching this now, this is for you, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. And So I invite you to maybe share this out with someone else because they may need it too. So help me get the message out, the word out a little bit more. And so my friend Christine and I are doing a workshop that is on, when is it? It is on the 27th, May 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I want you to watch because I'm going to be putting out some more info about it. And it's what we call a My People Party, meaning that it is a workshop, but it's a workshop that's more laid back. It's a workshop that is more community driven. It's like a party. We have conversations instead of just slides and a to-do list and put one in the comments if this. We might do that on occasion, but usually we're just there having a conversation and sharing something amazing. And we are doing ours this time about some different things in business that we see that people are looking and searching for. And we have a great resource for everyone to check out. And so watch for it. And so this resource that we will be talking about is a lot like putting the clothes out on the couch or the chair or whatever it is before you go to bed when you know you want to get up and do your walk in the morning, right? It lowers the activation energy and it gives you the structure to start showing up and building that evidence. So it's a really cool thing when you think about it. So watch for, I know I say so quite often, and I don't know why. It's either that or it's one of the things I'm working on. The thing is that having the tools to work with are amazing. And so we're going to offer you some tools, but at the same time, tools are not enough. We also offer you, we'll do a little mindset work at the My People Party, the workshop, so that it helps you to look at that 2,000 bits of information that you're getting right now and make sure that they are useful and helping you to move forward in life, whatever that may be. So we'll offer you tools and we'll offer you some mindset. So it will be perfect. So make sure that you watch, and I would give you the link right now, but I don't know that we have it completely set up. So watch, and we're going to be doing that. So, and if you're interested in coming to the workshop, just from what I said today, just put workshop in the comments and I'll make sure that I send you the link as soon as we have everything set up and ready to go. But I'm telling you, it will be life-changingly powerful to learn about these new tools and get some of the mindset work to help you reformat your 2,000 bits of information. Powerful stuff. And I also want to invite you to join this conversation in my newsletter. I send out a newsletter every week. It typically goes out on Wednesday evening, and every now and then it will go out on a Monday or Tuesday, but typically on Wednesday evening. And I utilize a lot of different information that I've been sharing for the week, and I create a newsletter that will be very powerful for you. There's an affirmation and a journal prompt in there. And then usually have a book recommendation. I have a little experiment that you can do. So there's a lot of things in there that is very powerful to help you shift your beliefs in yourself and how you show up in the world, how you believe about the world, and change your 2,000 bits of information. I mean, that is golden. That is golden, I promise you. All right, so I hope you have enjoyed this. So it is theenlightenedpeach.beehive.com/subscribe. So I would love to have you to subscribe to the newsletter, and you're more than welcome to share the information out to anyone else that you think would feel supported with this, because it is a labor of love. I love doing it, and I am so happy to be here with you guys today. And I look forward to seeing you at the workshop. Remember, you put the word workshop in the comments, and I will make sure I get you the link to get to the workshop. I promise you. And that it once again is May 27th. It's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And as always, remember, life is delicious. Savor each and every bite. Love you guys.